the United States, land of the free, home of the brave, where freedom rings, where independence reigns. There are so many reasons to be proud to be an American. But one liberal commentator couldn't disagree more. Watch.
As a patriot, Scott, I find it really troubling because they ran on this whole idea of this pseudo-patriotism, this regressive masculine patriotism, yet everything they're doing runs against making America great. Well, it was never great, so I'm not going to say the again part, but making America great. You're trying to defend the indefensible. Yeah, I absolutely feel that way. I absolutely feel that way. And I think if you had the history that my people had in this country, that you might have a modicum of understanding and respect for that. America was never great for me.
Charles, what are your thoughts?
So America was never perfect, but America's always been great vis-a-vis the rest of the world. And I think that's what she's missing. A lot of times we look back at history with presentism. We take today's standards and we layer it over 200 years ago. I think, without a doubt, the founding fathers, the framers of the Constitution, if you study them, they were extraordinarily educated in world events and human behavior. And that's why the Constitution is what's the difference. So our motto, our goal is to become a more perfect union. And we have made greater strides in that direction than any country on earth in a shorter period of time. And for that reason, we're great.
I think the most troubling part of that is that so many on the left find reasons to hate our country. We're seeing that in the protests right now that we're watching at our universities. We're seeing it. We saw it with George Floyd. I mean, these are people that are so angry and so hateful and so vile. And we should be coming together and finding common ground, not saying that America was never great. And it's really unfortunate. If she really believes that, I think that's really that's sad.
She does believe it.
Yeah.
And the broad brush to paint that being imperfect means hating the entire country is what's so sad, too.
Yeah. And growing up in America today is a particularly phenomenal gift for a young woman. I took my daughter to this small memorial we have in the city where we live for 9/11 because I want her to understand, you know, the sacrifices that have been made and what an impactful day that was, and to explain that piece of history, and just to be so grateful that she's an American girl. You know, to be growing up a woman present today in America, an incredible gift. And you talked about presentism. Like, there are some terrible places to be a little girl around the world. So this, having a little American girl and trying to impart that to her is just part of what we're doing.
Yeah, like in Afghanistan, where we abandoned them under the prior administration, where those girls now can't even leave the house.
Yeah, great point. Look, when you think about Tiffany Cross, she used the word masculine patriotism. I was not aware that patriotism had a gender denotation. I guess that's what you learn from the highbrow commentary over at CNN. She then goes further to say America was never great, and she chose to double down on that statement. And I loved watching the reaction of Scott Jennings, seeing his face, and Joe Borelli when she said that. What an asinine statement. Are we perfect as a country? To Charles' point, no, we are not. Did we help rebuild Europe after World War II? Yes, we did. Did we create the greatest democratic, most enduring system of government in the world? Yes, we did. Did we have the first man on the moon in 1969? Yes, we did. Were we the first in flight with the Wright brothers? Yes, we were. America is a great country. And the more the Democratic Party, and she says, I'm not a Democrat. Okay, well, who'd you vote for, Tiffany Cross? Would love to know. The more the people of the left make those statements, the more it's going to backfire. That was rejected resoundingly in the last election, and it will continue to be because most Americans are very proud of this country.
My grandfather hung his certificate of citizenship on the wall when he became a U.S. citizen. He was so proud, and then we inherited it and hung it on our walls. Every day I got to see that, so absolutely. My family, we are proud, and our families, we are proud. America's back. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.